So thank you so much for joining. I'm delighted to be here with all of you on His Holiness's 88th birthday. His Holiness the Dalai Lama. You can also see the photo here right behind me that's in front of a large sand mandala at Land of Medicine Buddha, of a infinite Buddha of Compassion sand mandala, and His Holiness's photo, and then in the Gompa with all of our medicine Buddhas as well, the altar here, and all the other statues and tankas and shrines, and including on the other side what the shrine we had made for Lama Zopa Rinpoche. It's been since moved, but it's over there now, if you can see, because they were doing the practices for the 49-day period. So there's a lot of blessings in here, and I'm happy to be here with you. So I'm going to share my screen, and thank you to Sunny, Sheila, the whole spiritual program team for Shantideva Center for hosting. And thank you all for supporting the center and all of your practices. And the most important thing right now is for us to set our motivation for doing these special practices that are advised by Rinpoche, that have been advised for years, of what we do on His Holiness's birthday. So a lot of prayers, standard prayers and practices, some people do some of them every day. And take a moment right now to set your motivation. It was one of the main things Khandrila, Precious Khandrila, spoke about in this past week here. It was her advice when Rinpoche passed to practice bodhicitta. So if you can think of how these practices help our minds to better balance and center our minds, and they also help our minds to stay away from delusion. So the more we're able to do these practices, it helps our path to enlightenment. And the reason we'd like to reach that space, that we'd think that His Holiness the Dalai Lama has reached that space, is to benefit all living beings. That's the real purpose. And she talked a lot about expansion, expanding the mind, the inner development of expanding your mind into that unsurpassable knowing, that deep wisdom of knowing, with the benevolence of the fully opened heart. So it's from that space, for the benefit of all living beings, that we will engage in this precious practice. And please let me know if at any time you cannot see the text, any issues with that. The great festival of His Holiness's birthday, and how to do this in the best possible way with the instructions from Rinpoche, Kyabji Lama Zopa Rinpoche. And then it gives you the little preemptor of how to set up the altar. But we're going to start with refuge and bodhicitta, as is normal in our practices, and take a moment to consider what they mean to you. The Guru is Buddha, the Guru is Dharma, the Guru is also Sangha. The Guru is the creator of all happiness. In all the Gurus I take refuge. Lama Sanghe Lama Chödejin Lama Gedunte Kongi Jepo Lama Yin Lama Namla Kyab Suji. The Guru is Buddha, the Guru is Dharma, the Guru is also Sangha. The Guru is the creator of all happiness. In all the Gurus I take refuge. You can imagine all these Gurus in the space around you, all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, incredible pure realm. And these are actually verses we often do during the Nungne practices. Let's read these two in English. With the thought desiring to liberate transmigratory beings, I always take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha until the heart of enlightenment is achieved. With perseverance, acting with wisdom, compassion, and loving kindness, in front of the Buddhas for the benefit of sentient beings, I generate the thought of full enlightenment. With the thought desiring to liberate transmigratory beings, I always take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha until the heart of enlightenment is achieved. With perseverance, acting with wisdom, compassion, and loving kindness, in front of the Buddhas for the benefit of sentient beings, I generate the thought of full enlightenment. And then once in the phonetics. Dro nam jodo sampayi sange chodan gendun la jangchub nimpor chiki bar tabar dani kyab suchi sherab ninse danchepe tompe samchen dundu dak sange dundu negite zope janju semke do. Imagine cleaning the space, because we're going to invite all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas through visualization here. And we want to, as if you're having guests, we want to have a beautiful space for them, a pure land, which was what we had done at Land of Medicine Buddha the last few days. It was extraordinary. Everywhere may the ground be pure, free of pebbles and so forth, as level as the palm of the hand, in the nature of blue beryl and soft. Asking the Buddhas to come and be here with us. Savior of all sentient beings without exception, divine destroyer of the unbearable hordes of Maras and their forces, perfect knower of all things without exception, Bhagavan, together with your retinue, please come here. Excuse me 1 second. Would you like a... Okay. Forgot my bell and door, Jane. So together with your retinue, please come here. Multiplying all the offerings. We have many offerings set up here at Land of Medicine Buddha and Shantideva Center. Some of you have in your homes. That may divine and human offerings, both actually arranged and mentally emanated, become clouds of the finest Samantabhadra offerings, filling the entire realm of space. And this offering cloud Dharani, this mantra, helps to multiply the offerings and also helps them to be blissfully received by all the holy beings. Offerings that are empty in nature. Om Namo Bhagavate Benza Sarvapamadana Tathagata Arhate Samyaksam Buddhaya Jayata Om Vajre Vajre Maha Vajre Maha Teja Vajre Maha Vidya Vajre Abodhicitta Vajre Maha Bodhi Mandapa Sankamana Vajre Sarakama Avarana Bichada Soha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vajre Sarvapamadana Tathagata Arhate Samyaksam Buddhaya Jayata Om Vajre Vajre Maha Vajre Maha Teja Vajre Maha Vidya Vajre Maha Bodhicitta Maha Bodhi Mandapa Sankamana Vajre Sarakama Avarana Bichadana Vajre Soha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vajra Sarvapamadana Tathagata Arhate Samyaksam Buddhaya Jayata Om Vajre Vajre Maha Vajre Maha Teja Vajre Maha Vidya Vajre Maha Bodhicitta Maha Bodhi Mandapa Sankamana Vajre Sarakama Avarana Bichadana Vajre Soha. By the power of truth of the three rare sublime ones, the blessings of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, the great wealth of the completed two types of merits, and the pure and inconceivable sphere of phenomena, may these piles of clouds of offerings arising through transformation by the Bodhisattvas Arya Samantabhadra, Manjushri, and so forth, unimaginable and inexhaustible, equaling the sky, arise and in the presence of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of the 10 directions be received. Again, imagine the offerings filling all the space, blissfully received by all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. We'll continue on with the 7-limb prayer. I prostrate reverently with my body, speech, and mind. I present clouds of every type of offering, both actually arranged and mentally emanated. I confess all my negative actions and downfalls collected from beginningless time. I rejoice in the virtues of ordinary beings and Aryas. Take a moment to rejoice at all your good deeds and those of all the noble and holy beings. Please remain until the end of cyclic existence and turn the wheel of Dharma for transmigratory beings. I dedicate my own and others' virtues to great enlightenment. O Jingyamo Wargyom Vajrabhumi Ahung Wanchen Sergi Saji Om Benzareke Ahum Chi Chakri Goryugi Korweu Suriga Parira Shalo Babu Lo Zambulin Nubalancho Chandra Minyan Ludan Lupag Nayab Den Nayab Zen Yodan Dan La Chodro Dramin Dan Dramin Yingida Rinpoche Riwo Pasamgi Shin Dojo Yoba Mamo Pai Loto Kolo Rinpoche, Nobo Rinpoche, Tsumo Rinpoche, Lombo Rinpoche, Lombo Rinpoche, Tacho Rinpoche, Mapon Rinpoche, Turchen Boi Bomba, Gamma, Trewama, Luma, Garma, Nedoma, Dubama, Nasama, Dricham, Nima, Dawa, Rinpoche, Du, Chole Nambar Gyawe Gyaltsen, Usulada mi Paljo Bunjun Zoba Ma Zhangwa Me Pa San Zing Yi Du Wangwa Di Dan Drin Jen Zang Kupar Chepe Palden Lama Dan Pa Nam Dan Kepar Duyang Gonso Lami Namjen Kyabju Gyawe Wampo Tamche Kenji Zipa Chempo Jetson Jampang Nawang Losang Yeshe Tenzin Gyatso. That's His Holiness's particular name. Si Sumwangi Sumpa Mepe de Pelzan Pojo Dachen Tempat Dandro Wegyun Dutu Tseja Pesi Tebar Dutu Tenpe Che Dubu Buwargyo Duje Doe Dandu Zesuso Sene Danso Jo Warmar Gyur Namke Tamde Nyampe Samchen Tamche La Du Zewa Chempo Gone Chingi Labtu So. Short mandala offering. Let's read in English. This ground anointed with perfumes, strewn with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, the 4 continents, the sun and the moon, I imagine as a Buddha land and offer it. May all transmigratory beings enjoy this pure land. The wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of all happiness in this world without exception, to the incomparably kind Tenzin Gyatso I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. In the sky before me, on a lion throne, lotus and moon, my perfect pure Guru smiles with delight. Supreme field of merit for my mind of faith, please abide for 100 eons to spread the teachings. Noble-minded one, primordial Buddha Vajradhara, all-pervading one, by manifesting outer, inner, and secret bodies, consider transmigratory beings with love as long as the sky endures, and turn the wheels of the outer, inner, and secret Dharma. So imagine the most incredible world system you can, vast, spacious, of the finest qualities, everything you'd like to offer. And on every atom of that world system, of that mandala, are infinite more mandalas that we offer, completely empty. You can imagine His Holiness in the space in front, surrounded by all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas and holy beings, and he's blissfully happy, in perfect health, for countless eons to come. Idam Guru Ratna Mandala Kam Niratayami. So here it says, introducing, praising His Holiness. If you have a student, can talk about his kindness. Some of you have been able to meet His Holiness in a group setting or individually, like that. I've had the good fortune to meet His Holiness a few times, and sometimes one time alone and with groups as well, due to the kindness of Lama Zopa Rinpoche. Some of you, I tell the story that, a quick story, when we were at UCLA, there was a big teaching with His Holiness. And Lama Zopa Rinpoche arranged for us, all the FPMT people, to have a group interview with His Holiness. So we were all excited, and a group photo. We were all very excited, and everybody, what's interesting is a lot of people try to get close to His Holiness, really close, because they want to be in that group photo that gets distributed, and they sometimes cut to a close-up of His Holiness. So you could see the grasping of certain people that had to be right there. But Lama Zopa Rinpoche is right, kneeling on the ground as he would with his gurus, to be lower than them. And then the photographer took the photo, and then His Holiness looked and he kept looking at Rinpoche, and then he said in Tibetan first to Rinpoche, poking him, did you smile? Did you smile? And then he looked at the photographer and he said, did he smile? And you see Rinpoche just like this, like just can't even look at His Holiness. And His Holiness kept teasing him, and he said, I don't think he smiled. So he said to the photographer, you take another photo. And then he kept poking Rinpoche and said, you smile in this, you smile. And then as we were taking the photo, I noticed His Holiness was pinching Rinpoche, the back of Rinpoche's neck to get him to smile. And you see Rinpoche in the photo, there's like a little corner of his mouth is up. It's just obviously following the advice of his guru. And it was just a precious moment between them because they were so close. And it was a beautiful, beautiful moment. So I had the good fortune many years ago to meet for half an hour with His Holiness due to a project Lama Zopa Rinpoche gave me to do. And, when you go in, I want to talk about my practice, but because I had this commitment about the way I got in was through this project. So I had to kind of take care of business and talk about the project. And what happened is, the way His Holiness orchestrated the whole thing, he doesn't let you make prostrations, because also it's time consuming and there's many people waiting for appointments. So, but as a practitioner, obviously I would make prostrations. But so when I came into the room and they usher you down this hallway and you're waiting for a couple hours, and you turn this corner and there's a living room, and suddenly there's His Holiness, and you're so bowled over because you haven't been around that type of purity ever, really. It's just overwhelming. And so suddenly there, and I quickly, I was a lay person then, and His Holiness just stuck his hand in. So we automatically shake hands. So you but he grabbed my hand, right, in a vice. Like his hand was so strong. And then I'm trying to pull my hand back to make prostrations, but he doesn't let you, because it was just this really funny, and then he took me very strongly by the hand, not letting go of my hand, led me to a sofa, where then he kind of pushed one shoulder of mine so that I sat down in the sofa. Like, it was just all orchestrated. And he knew this was obviously the fastest way to do it, but it was a very cute, very warmly affectionate, darling way that I could see him dealing with all these people and everybody that, when they're, especially practitioners, you turn the corner, you see him, you're really, you can't speak. So you're really like, so he kind of takes over to kind of manage to get you into your seat. And so that what we did is we spent 15 minutes talking about the project, because I felt that's what I came in to do. And I was trying, I would have spoken as long as I could about it, but it was clear after 15 minutes, His Holiness said what he needed to do with it, and it was all that was finished. And then he just started to ask me about my practice. So it was like so beautiful of how he just worked the whole thing, and just because of the kindness of my teacher, one of my teachers, Lama Zopa Rinpoche, His Holiness also a teacher, but because of that kindness, I went in and did present the right thing, and then you get everything you wanted. It was very precious, and just cherish those moments with His Holiness. Let's continue on with this wonderful practice, taking blessings from His Holiness's throne. So this is where people that want, when you have a large group, people can come up. If you have in your own altar and you have a kata and you want to offer it during these verses, feel free. You can make a money offering to your own altar, a picture of His Holiness in front of your altar, and just imagine that you're actually giving it to His Holiness. That's fine. People can make offerings online to His Holiness and things like that. So you can just think. I think also doing our practicing bodhicitta, anything that I think those things would make His Holiness's mind very pleased, and also creating lots of harmony in your own life, whether your family, your community, your apartment building, and especially your Dharma center. So those are really important things that I think is a great offering for our teachers. May you live, showing us a healthy, long life until our samsara ends. May all your holy wishes succeed immediately. Please guide me in all my lives until I achieve your state of full enlightenment, Buddhahood. So that's a kind of prayer you can do anytime that you want to think about, you're touching your head to His Holiness's holy throne, anything with any of your teachers like that. And it says this includes the prayer from the Lama Zopa, which is the Chuni Lama Chuni Yidam, which is a very significant request to the Guru to be my friend, to guide me, to never forsake. Beautiful, beautiful prayer like that. And it says this prayer is also important in order to be able to follow His Holiness until our mind becomes oneness with His Holiness's mind, like that, with His Holiness's holy mind. And you can think about that in your own practices, that may my mind be like yours, may my mind develop into your mind in this life, and think about all future lives without interruption. Think about specific requests like this you'd like to make, for instance. So meeting authentic qualified gurus like His Holiness the Dalai Lama, like Lama Zopa Rinpoche. But here's another aspect of it. Meeting them early in life so that you have that whole lifetime to practice, to devote, to accumulate merit, to accumulate positive habits. Because I meet a number of students meeting the Dharma in their 60s. It's never too late. It's never too late, but they realize all these other people that got started much earlier and have all those imprints by the time they're 50 or 60. So you can make specific prayers like that. And I never want to have a life uninterrupted with any Dharma or not meeting a teacher in my life. And I always want to have a very pure way that I devote to the teacher, that I serve the teacher, especially His Holiness like that. You could create future lives that you'll have a connection with His Holiness. And seeking the guidance like that. And then it says here, you could offer the sweet tea, sweet rice, and we'll read this Song of Immortality, prayer for the long life of His Holiness the Dalai Lama. We're going to read in English. Om Shvasti. To the assembly of most kind teachers, both present and past, the miraculous dance of the body, speech, and mind of innumerable Buddhas, manifesting in accord with aspirants' spiritual capacities, the wish-granting jewel, the source of all virtue and goodness. To you we offer our prayers with fervent devotion, that Tenzin Gyatso, protector of the land of snows, live for 100 eons, shower on him your blessings so that his aspirations are fulfilled without hindrance. To the assembly of all meditational deities, manifesting as countless mandalas and divinities, the magical clouds of immaculate transcendent wisdom, reaching to the farthest expanse of the space of ultimate reality. To you we offer our prayers with fervent devotion, that Tenzin Gyatso, protector of the land of snows, live for 100 eons. Shower on him your blessings so that his aspirations are fulfilled without hindrance. To all the victorious Buddhas of the 3 times, endowed with 10 powers and who are even masters of the gods, and whose attributes of perfection are the source of all compassionate deeds, benefiting the vast ocean-like realm of sentient beings, to you we offer our prayers with fervent devotion, that Tenzin Gyatso, protector of the land of snows, live for 100 eons. Shower on him your blessings so that his aspirations are fulfilled without hindrance. To the assembly of sacred doctrine embodied in the 3 vehicles, supremely serene, a jeweled treasure of enlightenment, stainless, unchanging, eternally good, and the glory of all virtues, which actually liberates beings from the sufferings of the 3 worlds, to you we offer our prayers with fervent devotion. The Tenzin Gyatso, protector of the land of snows, live for 100 eons. Shower on him your blessings so that his aspirations are fulfilled without hindrance. To all members of the enlightening noble spiritual community who never stray from the thoroughly liberating adamantine city, who possess the wisdom eye that directly sees the profound truth, and the highest valor to destroy all machinations of cyclic existence. To you we offer our prayers with fervent devotion, that Tenzin Gyatso, protector of the land of snows, live for 100 eons. Shower on him your blessings that his aspirations are fulfilled without hindrance. To the assembly of heroes and dakinis, heavenly beings of the 3 worlds, who appear in the highest paradises, in the sacred places, and in the cremation grounds, and who through creative play and the 100-fold experiences of bliss and emptiness support practitioners in their meditation on the excellent path. To you we offer our prayers with fervent devotion, that Tenzin Gyatso, protector of the land of snows, live for 100 eons. Shower on him your blessings so that his aspirations are fulfilled without hindrance. To the ocean of protectors endowed with eyes of transcendent wisdom, the powerful guardians and upholders of the teaching, who wear inseparably on their matted locks the knot symbolizing their pledge to the Vajra holder, to you we offer our prayers with fervent devotion, that Tenzin Gyatso, protector of the land of snows, live for 100 eons. Shower on him your blessings so his aspirations are fulfilled without hindrance. Thus, to this congregation of excellent, undeceiving refuge, we pray that by the power of this prayer, expressed from a heart filled with fervent devotion and humility, may the body, speech, and mind of the sole savior of the land of snows, the supreme Nawang Losang Tenzin Gyatso, be indestructible, unfluctuating, and unceasing. May he live for 100 eons, seated on a diamond throne, transcending decay and destruction. You are the jewel heart embodying all compassionate, beneficial deeds. O most courageous one, you carry on your shoulders the burden of all the Buddhas of the infinite realms. May all your noble aspirations be fulfilled as intended. By virtue of this, may the heavenly doors of the fortunate era open eternally as a source of relief and respite for all beings. And may the auspicious signs reach the apex of existence and release as the sacred teachings flourish through all times and in all realms. May the nectar stream of the blessings of the lotus holder always enter our hearts and nourish them with strength. May we please you with offerings of dedicated practice. And may we reach beyond the shores of perfect compassionate deeds through the blessings of the wondrous Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, by the infallible truth of the laws of dependent origination, and by the purity of our fervent aspirations. May the aims of our prayers be fulfilled without hindrance. So we've already offered the sweet rice and the tea. And these are prostrations and offerings to the 16 arhats, to grant the Guru a long life, and we'll recite this one time through. You who are the 3 refuges in all times and directions, along with your attendants, Out of your wisdom and compassion, please pay attention to us afflicted transmigratory beings. By your magical powers, which are unobstructed throughout the immeasurable universes, please come here and be seated in the midst of an ocean of clouds of offerings. In the center of this land, as level as the palm of the hand, decorated with jeweled ornaments and adorned with trees, streams, and lakes, is a square palace made of jewels with 4 doors. You, the protectors of transmigratory beings who compassionately place those to be subdued of this time of conflict on the path to liberation, Supreme Muni and the great Arhats, along with your retinues, please come to this place and be seated on cushions adorned with the lotus, sun, and moon. All you conquerors of the 10 directions, along with your children, you who dry up the ocean of delusions with the blazing fire of your wisdom, as well as the Sangha of hearers of the 10 directions, you who are praised as a field of merit for liberation, I beseech you to abide here. When I invoke you to this place of offering, please come, by virtue of these offerings for the welfare of transmigratory beings, Dharma protectors, great Arhats, you to whom the protector transmigratory beings, the lion of the Shakyas, entrusted the teachings of the Buddha. You who open the chest of the precious teachings, I beseech you to abide here. When I invoke you for the purpose of spreading the holy Dharma, please come, by virtue of these offerings for the welfare of transmigratory beings. You who receive the precepts of the Muni and bear the victory banner of the teachings, Agaja, Ajita, Vanavasan, Kalika, Vajriputra, Bhadra, Kanakavasta, Supreme Kanaka Vajra, Arya Bakula, Rahula, Chudapataka, Pindola Bharavaja, Pantaka, Nagasena, Gopaka, and Abhida. These are the 16 Arhats. Please come to this place along with your retinues. You who have attained Buddhahood, the perfection of abandonment and exalted wisdom, yet take the aspect of hearers by the power of those to be subdued. You 16 Arhats who protect the Dharma with special enlightened activities, please come here and be seated on these cushions. Guardians of the teachings, you who consider the scriptures of the Sugata to be foremost, you 16 Arhats who forsook your own welfare and earnestly work for the welfare of others in the jungle of samsara, please come to this place by the power of your promises and compassion. I beseech you, Upasaka, who with your firm words of truth, please grant me refuge, became the servant of the 3 rare sublime ones. When I invoke you to this place of precious merit, please come, by virtue of these offerings for the welfare of transmigratory beings. Bhagavans, it is wonderful that you have come here. Bhagavans, please remain, as long as we have merit and fortune, and as long as we make offerings to you. I bow at your Vajra lotus feet, Guru whose body is like a jewel. Due to your kindness, the state of great bliss can be attained in but an instant. Please bless the teachings to flourish. The Savior having great compassion, the teacher having all understanding, the field of merit with qualities like a vast ocean, to the one gone to thusness I prostrate. Please bless the teachings to flourish. The purity that frees one from attachment, the virtue that frees one from the lower realms, the one path of sublime pure reality, to the Dharma that pacifies I prostrate. Please bless the teachings to flourish. Those who are liberated and who also show the path to liberation, the holy field qualified with realizations, who are devoted to the moral precepts, to you the sublime community intending virtue, I prostrate. Please bless the teachings to flourish. You who purify every unfortunate migration of all the transmigratory beings of the 3 realms and turn the wheel of Dharma, I bow to the Lion of the Shakyas. Please bless the teachings to flourish. You who completely liberate from all faults and are adorned with all good qualities, you who are the sole friend of all sentient beings, I prostrate to the Omniscient One. Please bless the teachings to flourish. You who have abandoned rebirth and fear by this method and teach dependent and related arising, I prostrate to Munindra. Please bless the teachings to flourish. I prostrate to you whose body is matchless beautiful, the color of gold, and when gazed at never satiates. You who have one face, your right hand suppressing the earth, and your left in meditative equipoise. You who are seated in the Vajra position, please bless the Guru's life to be stable and the teachings to flourish. I prostrate to you, Arya Elder Agaja, you who are surrounded by 1,300 arhats on great Mount Kailash. You who hold an incense bowl and a fan, please bless the Guru's life to be stable and the teachings to flourish. I prostrate to you, Arya Elder Ajita, who are surrounded by 100 arhats on the face of Mount Rishi. You whose two hands are in meditative equipoise, please bless the Guru's life to be stable and the teachings to flourish. I prostrate to you, Arya Elder Vanavasan, you who are surrounded by 1,400 arhats in 7-leaf cave. You who threaten and hold a fan, please bless the Guru's life to be stable and the teachings to flourish. I prostrate to you, Arya Elder Kalika, who are surrounded by 1,100 arhats in copper country of Rose Apple land. You who hold a pair of gold earrings, please bless the Guru's life to be stable and the teachings to flourish. I prostrate to you, Arya Elder Vajraputra, you who are surrounded by 1,000 arhats on the island of Sri Lanka. You who threaten and hold a fan, please bless the Guru's life to be stable and the teachings to flourish. I prostrate to you, Arya Elder Bhadra, you who are surrounded by 1,200 arhats in Yamuna River land. You whose hands are in the Dharma explaining mudra and meditative equipoise, please bless the Guru's life to be stable and the teachings to flourish. I prostrate to you, Arya Elder Kanakavatsa, you who are surrounded by 500 great arhats in the supreme holy place of Kashmir. You who hold a jeweled noose, please bless the Guru's life to be stable and the teachings to flourish. I prostrate to you, Arya Elder Kanaka Bharadvaja, who are surrounded by 700 great arhats in the western land of enjoying cattle. You whose two hands are in meditative equipoise, please bless the Guru's life to be stable and the teachings to flourish. I prostrate to you, Arya Elder Bakula, who are surrounded by 900 great arhats in the northern land of unpleasant sound. You whose two hands hold a mongoose, please bless the Guru's life to be stable and the teachings to flourish. I prostrate to you, Arya Elder Varahula, who are surrounded by 1,100 arhats in the land of Priyanku, who hold a jeweled crown. Please bless the Guru's life to be stable and the teachings to flourish. I prostrate to you, Arya Elder Chudapataka, who are surrounded by 1,600 arhats on Vulture Peak Mountain. You whose two hands are in meditative equipoise, please bless the Guru's life to be stable and the teachings to flourish. I prostrate to you, Arya Elder Pindola Bharavaja, who are surrounded by 1,000 arhats in the eastern land of noble-bodied. You who hold a text and an alms bowl, please bless the Guru's life to be stable and the teachings to flourish. I prostrate to you, Arya Elder Pantaka, who are surrounded by 900 great arhats in the abode of the 33 gods. You who hold a text and have a Dharma explaining mudra, please bless the Guru's life to be stable and the teachings to flourish. I prostrate to you, Arya Elder Nagasena, who are surrounded by 1,200 arhats on the broad face of King of Mountains. You who hold a vase and a mendicant's staff, please bless the Guru's life to be stable and the teachings to flourish. I prostrate to you, Arya Elder Gopaka, who are surrounded by 1,400 arhats on Bihula, King of Mountains. You who hold a text in each of your hands, please bless the Guru's life to be stable and the teachings to flourish. I prostrate to you, Arya Elder Abida, who are surrounded by 1,000 arhats on King of Snow Mountains. You who hold a stupa of enlightenment, please bless the Guru's life to be stable and the teachings to flourish. I prostrate to you, Upasaka Dharmatala, whose hair is tied up in a topknot. You who carry a text and abide in front of Amitabha, holding a fan and a vase, please bless the Guru's life to be stable and the teachings to flourish. I prostrate to you, the four great kings, Dhiraraksha, Virudaka, Virupaksha, and Vasravana. You who subdue your own retinues and guard the four doors, please bless the Guru's life to be stable and the teachings to flourish. I prostrate with supreme faith in every way to all of you who are worthy of veneration, bowing as many bodies as the number of all the atoms in the universe. Please bless the Guru's life to be stable and the teachings to flourish. You lions amongst humans, gone to freedom in the present, past, and future, in the world's 10 directions, to all of you with body, speech, and sincere mind, I bow down. With the energy of aspiration for the Bodhisattva way, with a sense of deep respect, and with as many bodies as atoms of the world, to all you Buddhas visualized as real, I bow down. On every atom are Buddhas numberless as atoms, each amidst a host of bodhisattvas, and I'm confident the sphere of all phenomena is entirely filled with Buddhas in this way. With infinite oceans of praise for you and oceans of sound from the aspects of my voice, I sing the breathtaking excellence of Buddhas and celebrate all of you gone to bliss. Beautiful flowers and regal garlands, sweet music, scented oils and parasols, sparkling lights and sublime incense I offer to you, victorious ones. Fine dress and fragrant perfume, sandalwood powder heaped high as Mount Meru, all wondrous offerings, spectacular array I offer to you, victorious ones. With transcendent offerings peerless and vast, with profound admiration for all the Buddhas, with strength and conviction in the Bodhisattva way, I offer and bow down to all victorious ones. Every harmful action I have done with my body, speech, and mind, overwhelmed by attachment, anger, and confusion, all these I openly lay bare before you. I lift up my heart and rejoice in all positive potential of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in 10 directions, of solitary realizers here still training and those beyond, and of all ordinary beings. You who are bright lights of worlds in 10 directions, who have attained a Buddha's omniscience through the stages of awakening, all you who are my guides, please turn the supreme wheel of Dharma. With palms together, I earnestly request, you who may actualize parinirvana, please stay with us for eons numberless as atoms of the world, for the happiness and well-being of all wanderers in samsara. Whatever slight positive potential I may have created, by paying homage, offering, acknowledging my faults, rejoicing and requesting the Buddha stay and teach, I now dedicate all this for full awakening. Assembly of Arya Arhats, emanations of Buddhas, you who protect the teachings for the welfare of transmigratory beings, you 16 Arhats who are the actual 3 rare sublime ones, please bless the teachings to remain forever. You, the host of 16,400, or the nature, compassion, the host of retinues of the 16 Arhats, who cross the ocean of existence and are without afflictions, please bless the teachings to remain forever. You who are healers of all sentient beings, Arhats, possessors of knowledge and magical emanation, great bases of the generosity of all beings, supreme Arya beings, please bless the teachings to remain forever. By the power of my own and others' roots of virtue, may the teachings, the source of benefit and happiness, flourish. May we completely abandon all sufferings and their origins, that the ocean of existence might quickly dry up. May the ocean of merit be thoroughly completed, and the ocean of exalted wisdom be pure, that we may complete the entire ocean of good qualities without exception and become exalted in all worlds. May there be the auspiciousness of the Supreme Peerless Guru, who is undifferentiable from good qualities, accomplishes the enlightened activities of the 3 times, conquerors who have culminated the 2 collections, and ripens those to be subdued of equal fortune. May there be the auspiciousness of the great Arhats who protect the teachings and enact the welfare of transmigratory beings through compassionately taking the aspect of hearers as long as existence lasts, although they are the conquerors and the conquerors' children of the 3 times. For there to be happiness and excellence during the day, happiness and excellence during the night, happiness and excellence at midday, and continual happiness and excellence day and night, may there be the auspiciousness of the 3 rare sublime ones. By the force of the victorious one, Tsongkhapa, acting as our direct Mahayana virtuous friend in all our lives, may we never turn away for even a second from the pure path highly admired by the victorious ones. May I and all sentient beings meet the teachings of the victorious one, Losang Drakpa, who lived an eminent life endowed with pure morality, a brave heart in doing the Bodhisattva's extensive deeds, and the yoga of the two stages, the supreme transcendental wisdom and non-dual bliss and emptiness. May it not give rise to heresy for even a second. In regard to the actions of the glorious Guru, may I see whatever actions are done as pure. With this devotion, may I receive the Guru's blessings in my heart. By the force of the praises and requests made to you, may all diseases, evil spirits, poverty, and quarrels be calmed, and may the Dharma and good fortune increase in the regions in which I and others dwell. Due to all the past, present, and future merits collected by me, the numberless Buddhas, the numberless sentient beings, may all our wars, sickness, famine, and economic problems in the world, and all dangers of earth, water, fire, and wind be pacified immediately, and may perfect peace and happiness prevail in everyone's hearts and lives. By their generating loving kindness, compassion, and bodhicitta, may the Buddha Dharma last for a long time, and may the sentient beings in this world meet the Buddha Dharma and achieve enlightenment as quickly as possible. Determined to obtain the greatest possible benefit from all sentient beings who are more precious than a wish-fulfilling jewel, I hold them most dear at all times. Lama Sangye Drugyorne Drowa Chikyang Maluba De Sala Gubarjo. This very profound dedication and emptiness, due to all the past, present, and future merits collected by me, the numberless Buddhas, and the numberless sentient beings, which are completely empty of existing from their own side, may I, whom completely empty of existing from my own side, achieve the state of full enlightenment, which is completely empty of existing from its own side, and lead all sentient beings who are completely empty of existing from their own side to that state which is completely empty of existing from its own side, by myself alone, whom completely empty of existing from my own side. Any understanding you have of emptiness, please reflect for a moment. Okay. We're going to do the prayer for the flourishing of Jetson Kappa's teachings. Though he is the father, producer of all conquerors, as a conqueror's son, he produced the thought of upholding the conqueror's dharma in infinite worlds. Through this truth, may the conqueror Losang's teachings flourish. When of yore in the presence of Buddha Indraketu, he made his vow, the conqueror and his offspring, praised his powerful courage. Through this truth, may the conqueror Losang's teachings flourish. That the lineage of pure view and conduct might spread, he offered a white crystal rosary to the sage, who gave him a conch and prophesied. Through this truth, may the conqueror Losang's teachings flourish. His pure view free of eternity or destruction, his pure meditation cleansed of dark, fading, and fog, his pure conduct practiced according to conqueror's orders, may the conqueror Losang's teachings flourish. Learned, since he extensively sought out learning, reverend, rightly applying it to himself, good, dedicating all for beings and doctrine, may the conqueror Losang's teachings flourish. Through being sure that all scriptures, definitive and interpretive, were without contradiction, advice for one person's practice, he stopped all misconduct, may the conqueror Losang's teachings flourish. Listening to explanations of the three Pitakas, realized teachings, practice of the three trainings, his skilled and accomplished life story is amazing. May the conqueror Losang's teachings flourish. Outwardly calmed and subdued by the hearer's conduct, inwardly trusting in the two sages' practice, he allied without clash the good paths of Sutra and Tantra. May the conqueror Losang's teachings flourish. Combining voidness explained as the causal vehicle, with great bliss achieved by method, the effect vehicle, heart essence of 80,000 Dharma bundles, may the Conqueror Losang's teachings flourish. By the power of the ocean of oath-bound doctrine protectors, like the main guardians of the three beings' paths, the quick-acting Lord Vasravana, Karma Rama, may the Conqueror's Losang's teachings flourish. In short, by the lasting and glorious Guru's lives, by the earth being full of good, learned, reverend holders of the teaching, and by the increase of power of its patrons, may the Conqueror Losang's teachings flourish. So we'll do this one last prayer, causing the teachings of Buddha to flourish. Homage to the seven hero Buddhas, Vipassana, Sikhin, Visvabhu, Krakuchanda, Kanakamuni, Kashyapa, and Gautama Shakyamuni, the Lord of Lords. Whatever asceticism I practiced before, and whatever happiness I've sacrificed for the sake of all living beings, may this cause the teachings to blaze for a long time. In order to liberate living beings from their poor state, I gave my livelihood for the sake of those sick ones. May this cause the teachings to blaze for a long time. For the sake of attaining enlightenment, I gave away my son, my daughter, my wife, wealth, elephants, carriages, and jewels. May this cause the teachings to blaze for a long time. To the Buddhas, Pratyeka Buddhas, Shravakas, fathers, mothers, and rishis, I have made many offerings. May this cause the teachings to blaze for a long time. For hundreds of millions of eons, I experienced many sufferings, seeking wisdom in order to attain enlightenment. May this cause the teachings to blaze for a long time. I practiced proper conduct of moral discipline and asceticism for a long time, and made offerings to the Buddhas of the 10 directions. May this cause the teachings to blaze for a long time. In the past, with joyful, virtuous effort, I constantly remained stable and overcame all obstacles in order to liberate all living beings. May this cause my teachings to blaze for a long time. I remained always in the conduct of patience, especially towards those beings of this degenerate time who have very strong delusions and have caused me harm. May this cause the teachings to blaze for a long time. Through the power of my concentration of the subtlest mundane level, and through my countless meditations, like the sands of the river Ganges on the supramundane level, may the teachings blaze for a long time. For the sake of the wisdom of selflessness, in the past I practiced much austerity in the forest and undertook many studies and contemplation on the wisdom of selflessness. May this cause my teachings to blaze. Out of great love, I gave away my flesh, my blood, my whole livelihood, and all my limbs. Through this, may the way of Dharma flourish. Previously wanting all cruel beings to have happiness, through my loving kindness, I brought them to the path of the three vehicles. May this cause the supreme practice of giving to increase. In the past, relying on method and wisdom, I liberated beings from distorted views and placed them on the level of the perfect view. May this cause the Buddha to always increase, Dharma to always increase. Through the 4 methods of collecting beings, I liberated them from the fire of the delusions, thereby defeating the unwholesome and contaminated, which otherwise would have increased. May this cause the followers of my teachings to remain for a long time. I liberated those who have wrong views from the river of distorted views and placed them on the path of the right view. May my followers always be endowed with faith and respect. May this cause the teachings to blaze for a long time. For the Dharma King Tsongkhapa's way of Dharma to flourish, may all signs of obstacles be pacified and all conducive conditions be complete. Due to the 2 types of merits of the 3 times of myself and others, may the teachings of the victorious one, Losang Drakpa, shine resplendent forever. So we're going to, that concludes our prayers for His Holiness's birthday. There's more prayers you can do. You can do alternate prayers, but what I'd like to just open it up and ask, some of you have been at teachings with His Holiness. Some of you have met His Holiness, group interviews, individual interviews, and I just would like to ask, and it's so nice to see, George, Amy Krantz, some of these old friends. Wonderful to see all of you and all the rest of you as well. But I'd like to just open it up. If some of you would like to share your experiences of having His Holiness as a teacher, being with His Holiness, meeting His Holiness, please. We can just share a little bit. And how many of you have been at teachings with His Holiness? Just curious, just raise your hand. Because Amy, I know you were living in Dharamsala, part where His Holiness lives. And anything anybody would like to share that your feelings on? I mean, I know for me that the one meeting I did have the half an hour alone. There were other audiences with groups, you know, and all because of the kindness of Lama Zopa Rinpoche. You get zapped. I've seen many people leaving the temple or that where they had a meeting when I was living in Dharamsala, and they or later you'd meet them and you're not on the earth for that day. Like your feet are just, and I know I was zapped the rest of the day. Like I was kind of like babbling and just kind of, you're not. And I know sometimes I've met people where I'd heard they got an audience and they're like, I'm gonna go tomorrow, and then they met with His Holiness, and then I saw them later in the day, and you know, I'm like, how, you know, how was it? And they're just like, their eyes are really big and they're like they can't really speak. So but please feel free to share. Yes, Anna, please. Anna, please.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
I just wanted to say thank you for saying all of that. I'm planning to see His Holiness for the first time in October for those teachings. So
Oh,
thank you for
wonderful.
giving me the heads up.
Fantastic. I mean, when you're in a group audience and you're at a group teaching, it's different. You know, I'm talking about people that may have been in a smaller audience to meet. And the other thing about meeting with His Holiness, he, you know, now at 88, it's very hard to get an audience. And you don't want to just go in because you want to see His Holiness. Like you want to have a bigger purpose. If there was, you know, for me it was this project for the organization. It was, but again, you know, but again, it's all karma. If you really have some burning question, you feel like, you know, at this point, I would never ask for an audience, right? You know, just because he's older and he's got so much he's trying to do. But you never know what happens. And there can be, if you're in a group retreat in Dharamsala, this has happened for people at the end. They've gone down and gotten an audience to the end of the 3-month Vajrasattva retreat at Tushita at our center there. And those things are very appropriate because these people have just finished a, you know, a long retreat and longer retreat. And but you never know. But to go to teachings there, Anna, is fantastic. So you still get this incredible blast of that of the King of Kindness, that energy. It's just beautiful. Yeah, and it was really beautiful because I think it was in May. I can't remember from Shantideva Center. I think Jennifer represented you. So the organization FPMT Lama Zopa Rinpoche had wished for there to be a long life puja for His Holiness before he passed, before Lama Zopa passed. So it was carried out by our organization in May, and many, many centers from around the world sent representatives. And I believe Jennifer Kim represented Shantideva Center, which was very special. And because I had had this trip to Nepal and was at Kopan in between the pilgrimage, so all these people came back to Kopan after the visit to Dharamsala to be with Rinpoche's holy body at Kopan, which is still there. And we watched at Kopan the long life puja, a small group of us. And it was just beautiful. It was just one of the most beautiful long life offerings I've ever seen. And it just seemed to, were any of you there? Did any of you? No? Okay. Because I know Jennifer did go and I just talked to her recently about that. She was just here. So it was really, really beautiful and offered by the FPMT, our organization. So it was very special. And some people feel Rinpoche's passing, unexpected passing, was in some ways also probably taking obstacles for His Holiness, I'm sure. Because that's Rinpoche's big teaching, is all about the guru and taking care of the guru and doing what you can. And His Holiness certainly was, you know, a major guru in Rinpoche's life. And so really beautiful practice, as sad as we are, like that. Um, so any last comments if people would like to add anything or their experiences of with His Holiness or having His Holiness as a teacher? Anyway. Yeah, Kath, did you want to add something?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that back in '97, I also, I was fortunate enough to be in a contingency of about 20 people. And we were the first ones to be allowed, Westerners to be allowed into Tibet. And so on the way there, we were led by Alan Wallace. And because
when was this that you were?
back in 1997.
Yeah, because we went in the 80s to Tibet. We went
So,
with Lama Zopa
oh,
Rinpoche, yeah.
right.
Yeah, we
Oh,
could. You
that's
could get in.
interesting.
You could get in the 80s. It was very open in the 80s, and beautiful. That's fantastic that you went. That's wonderful.
Oh, okay. Well, sorry, I misunderstood that then. But anyway, we were led by Alan Wallace, and because of his relationship and work with His Holiness, we were the 20 of us got to meet with His Holiness. And I just want to say that, I mean, at the time I was nowhere near aware enough to have taken advantage of that. But sitting with His Holiness, as you say, I was completely just spaced out for no other, I just sat there in absolute bliss, sat there. And at one point he was talking in Tibetan, I guess, to Alan. And he looked over at me and smiled. And it was as if he could read my mind, as if he went straight into my mind. It was just amazing. And then I've got a picture of the group, which I've got sitting in front of me here, where my own ignorance and I guess luck and karma, perhaps, I'm kneeling in front of the Dalai Lama in the group picture, and he's touching me on the shoulder. And that physical touch, it was just, as you say, I walked around, I think for the rest of the trip, probably the rest of the 3 weeks, I was just floating. I don't think I came back to earth until I got back to the States. It was amazing. He's an amazing man.
That's fantastic. That's just wonderful. So you met His Holiness in Dharamsala, India.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
not in Tibet because he can't go to Tibet. So, and then you took a trip.
That's right. Yeah, but because we were going to Tibet, he wanted to meet with us.
Yeah, perfect. That's wonderful. That's fantastic. That's very that's precious. That's wonderful. And he'll do that with small groups of people that if there's a connection that they're, fantastic way. That's how we would do some audiences with Lama Zopa Rinpoche and retreats and things like that. And he's very connected to our organization. And fortunately, His Holiness, most fortunately, has said he will be involved in finding the authentic rebirth of Lama Zopa Rinpoche. Like he's very kind of keen on that. So he really said, I will be in this, I will help you like that. But that's great, Kath. That's a wonderful experience to have. Beautiful, beautiful. And His Holiness is very affectionate. And I felt really bad as people asked me, and we could stop the recording maybe or here we go. Just I thought to, and when I just want to stop the recording, but to say thank